Have you ever heard the dreaded words, "That's too expensive"? It can be frustrating, even discouraging, when someone questions the value of what you offer. But what does it really mean when they say that? And how should you respond? In today's video, we'll break down why hearing too expensive isn't the end of the conversation. It's the start of a new one. Let's talk about how to shift your mindset and communicate your value in a way that connects. Welcome back to another episode of The Cozy CEO. Well, hey there. I'm Kimberly Ferguson, CEO and founder of Emerald Expectations Accounting. I'm so happy that you're here. The Emerald Corner is a place where owning a business means building a life you love, not sacrificing one. Today, we're diving into a topic every business owner has faced at some point, hearing the words, "That's too expensive." If you've ever felt disheartened or defensive when someone says this to you, stick around. We're going to talk about why it happens, what it really means, and how you can respond confidently without lowering your prices. So, what does "that's too expensive" really mean? When someone says your product or service is too expensive, it can feel like a personal critique or a reflection of your business's value. But let me assure you, it's not always about the actual cost. In fact, I'd say it's rarely about the price itself. So here's what it could mean instead. Number one is they don't fully understand the value you're offering. Number two, it's not aligned with their current budget or priorities. And number three is they're comparing your offering to something else without realizing the full scope of what you provide. Most of the time when someone says "that's too expensive," it's a signal that there's a value perception gap, meaning they haven't yet connected the dots between the price and the true value that you're going to bring to the table. How does it make you feel? Hearing "too expensive" can stir up all kinds of emotions, especially if you're passionate about your work or product. You might feel defensive. Am I charging too much? Or maybe doubtful. Is my service worth it? Or frustrated. They don't understand what goes into this. These feelings are truly valid, but here's the thing. You don't need to lower your prices to solve the problem. Instead, the key is to recognize that this is an opportunity, a chance to highlight your value even more clearly. So, how do you respond when someone says, "That's too expensive"? The most important thing is to not take it personally and avoid reacting emotionally. Instead, shift your mindset from "I need to justify this price" to "I need to communicate my value." And here are a few strategies you can use. Number one is ask open-ended questions. Instead of jumping to defend your price, ask something like, "Can you help me understand what you're comparing this to?" Or, "What are your main concerns about the price?" This helps open up a dialogue and allows you to address any misunderstandings. Number two is reiterate the benefits, not just the features. People often focus on the features, like what the product or service is, rather than the benefits. What is it going to do for your client? Shift the conversation by explaining the outcomes they can expect. For example, "I understand it may seem like a large investment, but here's what this will do for your business in the long run." Number three, share testimonials or success stories. Highlighting the success others have had with your product or service can reinforce its value. If they see how others have benefited, they may be more willing to invest. Number four is offer a breakdown of the value. Sometimes people really do just need to see exactly what they're getting. So provide a clear breakdown of the services, the features, and added benefits included in the price to help them understand the full scope. Remember, the goal isn't to convince them to buy something they can't afford or don't need. It's to make sure they fully understand what they're getting and why it's worth the investment. And lastly, how to know when to walk away. Sometimes, no matter how well you communicate your value, the price will still be a sticking point. And that's okay. Not every client or customer is the right fit for you. And that's a healthy part of doing business. If someone simply cannot afford your services or continues to negotiate down a price that doesn't align with your value, it might be time to walk away respectfully. This doesn't mean you've lost the sale. It means you're staying true to the worth of what you offer. You can say something like, I completely understand if this isn't within your budget right now. If things change in the future, I'd love to work with you. In the meantime, I'm here if you have any questions. This keeps the door open for future conversations and preserves a positive relationship without compromising your value. At the end of the day, hearing that's too expensive is just a part of doing business. But it doesn't have to be a roadblock. Shift your mindset, communicate your value clearly, and don't be afraid to walk away when necessary. Well, thanks so much for spending just a few minutes of your day with me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.